Now let's go ahead and hook up the combo box. So I'm going to go to my Know Your Mentor, and inside of the controller I'm going to create a department combo tag. And this is going to be another Angular directive. So let's save this as department combo module.js. Create a closure, and then app is equal to Angular module. Oops. And then an empty dependency list. And in our mentor tool module, we're going to go ahead and add this as a dependency. And then we need a directive. And it's going to return a directive object. Element. And then we need a department combo HTML file, which we'll have to author. And we'll also need a controller. And controller as department combo controller. So we have some stuff to fill in. Let's go ahead and start with the HTML. So this is department combo.html. And we'll start with a div. And then we need an input, type equals text, and class equal department combo. And then we need our search button. And let's close off our div box. And I think these are both IDs in the CSS file. And then in our knowyourmentor.html file, we also have to include department combo.js. Actually, it's department combo module. And we'll put that before tool module. So let's go ahead and reload it and see if we have anything. Okay, so I think I'm going to use a paragraph there instead of a div so that there's some space. And save that and reload. Okay. Looks reasonable. So what do we want to do? Well, when the user clicks on this box and gives it focus, when that happens, we can be pretty sure that the departments have already loaded. So let's go ahead and on focus, we're going to turn this into an autocomplete, and we'll set the source to the list of the department names. So let's start by getting the department combo. And I'm going to use jQuery to do that. And we need to get the source departments. And we're going to need access to the department mentor data service module. So for each department in the list of departments, we're going to return department.depth, and that's going to be glued into a new array which is stored in departments. And then here we're going to set the source to depths. And we don't want to just do this when it loads, we want to do this when it gets focused. So let's actually say department-combo dot focus function like so. So when the user focuses on the box by clicking on it, that's where we're going to turn it into a combo box. So let's go ahead and save it and reload. And focus. Let's actually see if we have any errors so far. We don't. Let's go ahead and log a message here. And we actually want to do this inside here as well, because we don't want to fetch it until it's ready. Okay, so now we're set autocomplete source. So let's go ahead and put a breakpoint in there. And let's look at our departments. So that's not right. So let me put a breakpoint there and reload. And now department.depth, that looks correct. I need a return statement there. Okay. So return that. And there's our pop-up. And that's all we need for a combo box. Now we need to deal with selection though. So when the user hits return or the user clicks the plus sign, we're going to need to do our selection. And also we want to move this meet the mentors down below this line. So let's go ahead and fix that. So this meet the mentors should be above mentor blocks, but below department combo. That looks better. So the easy way to access this data is like so. In my department combo HTML, I can say ng model equal selected det. And then anytime the value of the box changes, this model value is going to change as well. And if I wanted to echo that, I could add something like so that's pretty easy. But you'll notice that it doesn't get updated when I do that. That's because jQuery UI is pushing events to this that don't get propagated to the selected box. So we need to call digest in order to get that updated. So to push that value, we need to know when to do the selection, when to do the update. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to wait for a carriage return key press on this combo box. So let's go ahead and add our return is character 13, and then department combo.autocomplete dot key down function events, and then we'll check if event.keycode equal return, then we're going to do something special. So for now, console.log got return. And we got our return there. So we're actually getting 3 returns when we hit return. And I think that's because we're calling this code right here multiple times. So every time we get focus, we're setting the source to departments and resetting this key down handler. So we only want to do this if we haven't done it yet. So out here, I'm going to set a variable called initialized. And then in here, if not initialized, then we're going to do all of this stuff. So now we're only going to do it once. So got to return, and then got to return, second return, third return. So this is working correctly now. So instead of binding this value using ngModel, what I want to do instead is have a separate property called selectedDept, and I'm going to manually set that inside of here. So $scope.selectedDept is equal to departmentCombo.val. So I'm going to push the value into selectedDept whenever I get a carriage return. Oh, I have to hit reload. So now this isn't updating, but if I select and hit return, I got return. And to cause this to update, I need to let the rest of the system know that the value is changed. And that's the digest call I was talking about before. So now it updates. And if I hit return, every time I hit return it updates. So that looks good. Now I want to do the same thing when they click on the button. Let's go ahead and click on that. If I click on the button, I want to do the same thing. So let's get the mentor button as well. And then also in here, we'll say mentor search dot click. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this into a separate function called set selected. Because I want to call it from a couple of different places. Okay, so set selected when they hit return, set selected when they click on the mentor search button. So return works and click works. Now I also want an event when the user clicks on that button, and to get that one I want to add a select property to my autocomplete. And that's just going to call setSelected as well. So let's go ahead and click on that, and it works. Actually, it didn't work. I got computer applications, but I clicked on a different one. So it's actually giving me the old value before it's updated. So let's go ahead and put a breakpoint there and see what we get. So you'll see this hasn't changed yet. That's the problem, because I'm looking at the value here. So one of the parameters that gets passed here is going to be an event and a UI. Let's see if we can find the right thing. Reload. And now I'm going to put a breakpoint here, and we'll see what the correct value is. So event gives me a current target, and UI gives me an item with a label and a value. So we actually want the UI.item.value here. So let's go ahead and change setSelected to take a value. And then here we'll pass in AKYMCombo value, and same thing there. But here we'll pass in UI.item.value. So that still works. That still works. And that works.